Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two dumb yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two dumb yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two dumb yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is episode 788 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. I want to say to everybody this morning, welcome back. Yeah. This is the eve of the very first Pittsburgh Steelers football game of the year, albeit a preseason game. Nonetheless, it is our Pittsburgh Steelers playing on TV. We're going to see the black, the gold, and some details on what we're not going to see also in today's show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Michael. How you be today, sir?
I'm okay. I'm
All
okay. I'm just glad the show's here.
Yeah.
So I can just have some fun and talk some football, baby.
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Tomorrow, guys, we are going to be in Jacksonville, Florida, playing the Jacksonville Jaguars in the preseason. This will be the Steelers' first preseason game of the year, the first of three. Come home next week to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and then back on the road the following week to play Carolina before they take a week off to get ready to start the season against the Jets next month. So we do want to get ready for the game, guys. A lot of preseason action going on this weekend. It started last night with a couple of games. The Ravens, they beat the Colts 24-16. The Eagles beat the Bengals 34-27, and the Raiders and the Seahawks conclude their game in a tie. But this is just the beginning of the weekend. Today we have more games. There's 3 games today, and then all through the weekend there's a bunch Saturday and into Sunday. And that's what this weekend's going to look like. Today we got the Browns at the Panthers, the Lions at the Falcons, and the Commanders at the Patriots tonight. And then tomorrow, again, we all know what tomorrow is. Tomorrow is Steelers Saturday. And then the very next time we're going to see everybody, it's going to be hopefully a Victory Monday show. But again, we'll see a lot of things to go over today, guys, as we get ready for the game tomorrow. We got some updates. We got an idea who might be playing, who might not be playing, and much, much more. And just sit back, get ready, guys, because this is our first Steeler Friday of the year, Mike.
Oh, yeah. And I'm pumped up. I'm excited. for the first Steeler Friday of the new season, baby.
Absolutely. Welcome, everybody. We can't wait to get the show started today, Mike. A lot of things we got to go over. Let me just get set here on my end. I was set. No, I'm not. So just let me get set up for a moment, and we will get things on the road. Here we go. So tomorrow we did get word of these are the players that will not be playing. So if you are tuning in to watch your favorite Steelers tomorrow night, this is an idea of who you may not see that you may wanted to see. Of course, the starting quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, new wide receiver, DK Metcalf, running back 1, Jalen Warren, tight end 1, Patrick Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, the veteran Isaac Seumalo, the new cornerback we have here, Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr., Darius Slay, Deshaun Elliott. Our whole starting secondary is out. Patrick Queen, TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Nick Herbig, and Chris Boswell. A lot of different stories about some of these different players going into the game. Mike, some just popped up as late as yesterday with two of these guys that ain't going to be participating this weekend. We'll get into that in just a moment, Mike. So that is the group of guys that we do not expect to see tomorrow. And this is because Coach Tomlin he busted out a new Tomlinism, and he said these guys need less runway to get ready for the regular season. Mike, any comment on these players out? Any comments on the less runway? Anything before we do get started?
No, it's. I'm really not that surprised. A couple teams that we have seen have not put out any of their starters, so I'm not surprised at all. I would have liked to see some of these guys, but we still have 2 more games. So let's let this first game, the second game, get a lot of the younger guys in and slowly work in the veterans.
Absolutely. I do want to say good morning to John on the board. Always great to see John. Big John Stud, middle name Mud. What's going on, bro, man? It is time for Steeler football. John says basically we'll be looking at players who soon will be in different jobs. Absolutely. Half of these guys we're going to watch tomorrow are going to be on different teams or going to be on their couch here in the next month or so. But good morning, John. Always great to see you, sir. But that is the list, Mike. That is the list of the guys that will not be participating. The ones that kind of caught my interest right off the top was Nick Herbig. A lot of these other guys are long season veterans. Nick Herbig is somebody that I would have expected to see in this particular game unless there was something going on. I don't think there's anything going on. However, Nick Herbig is getting the day off, Mike. Is this put him kind of in a category of guys that the coach looks and sees, Mike? Or is this what is the Nick Herbig not playing tomorrow? Do you make anything of this at all, or is this a nothing?
I make it that he's an established guy now. He is someone that the Steelers know what he can do, and there's no need for him to go out there and get hurt, and that he is now a big piece of the puzzle for what they want to do. So they definitely want him healthy. I think he's going to be the guy that's going to be moving every which way here and there.
All right. Yeah, I mean, your guess is as good as mine, Mike. It seems like that'd be the case, but if that would be the case, I have to ask myself, I mean, I would think there's other guys on the team as well. How does Nick Herbig land into this particular group of guys that doesn't participate tomorrow? But again, maybe we learn some more as the day goes on. Maybe we learn some more tomorrow. But again, a bunch of veterans that I really wouldn't have expected to play, or I would have expected them to play very minimally in the game tomorrow. Mike talking about a lot of these other guys, your Jalen Ramseys, your Darius Slays, your Aaron Rodgers, guys like this, guys that certainly veterans that's been around a long time. And that was just a concern of mine, Mike, was this Nick Herbig, because again, he's only a couple years in, fitting in with that group. But again, it could be a no story. It could be a no, but a couple other guys, Mike. Go ahead.
With Alex Highsmith being questionable at the I mean, he's the primary backup behind him.
Yeah.
You don't want both of those guys getting nicked up this early in camp. So expect to see a lot of Jack Sawyer, Ekolute, who knows who else is going to be out rotating in that outside backer spot. But I think, that injury to Highsmith and the plans they have for Herbig are playing into him. Like, hey, let's not risk someone who can be a starter when needed.
Mike, that's a good theory, but let me ask you a question. Is that telling about about Alex Highsmith's injury a little bit more than we would like it to be, in a sense that, this may be our number one guy at that spot if this injury is so bad. And if it wasn't bad, maybe they were saying we're just kind of giving him a little time to heal.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that would be the case, Mike. But is this telling about Highsmith's injury, do you think?
It potentially could be, or it could just then be being very cautious, not wanting to risk another guy. The pessimist in me wants to go, okay, how bad is this groin injury for Highsmith? To where, okay, we're not going to play Herbig, but they know what they're getting out of Herbig, they know what they're getting out of Joey Porter Jr. That's why he's not playing either. These young guys have kind of earned that. Okay, hey, we know these cats are going to be ready. Let's not throw them out there. And then add on top of that, we got some guys banged up. Let's not get any starters banged up. Let's get these guys out there who are fighting for roster spots, fighting for a spot on the depth chart, fighting for potential being into the mix of this potentially, generational defense. Let's see how we can rotate these guys in. Let's get to maximize the playing time out of the younger guys on the lineup, because we know these guys can play. So let's ease them in the next week. Let them get their game there.
And just one more question in this regard, and then we will move on, Mike. My other question is this. Are we going to be in week 3 saying, okay, Aaron Rodgers and this guy is finally warming up and they're finally getting up to game speed? And, does missing the time in the preseason, like the situation that you're saying, give the guys that actually play more time off in the preseason, does that affect us once the regular season starts? Maybe somebody that comes and plays their starters from day one, as Jacksonville is tomorrow, they're playing a bunch of their starters, where they may be more prepared come game 1, game 2, game 3, as where our starters are still getting their first taste of in-game, the speed of the game. Situations like this, Mike, will it affect us through the first quarter of the season if we would participate in the way that you're saying?
Well, that's kind of like what that feeds into like what John's comment was just too, like how those first 4 games of the regular season now kind of feel like the preseason. You see teams trying to feel their way out, and it's going to be interesting though to see like, okay, who's actually playing their starters this year, who's resting them, because the preseason time, it is good because you want to get an actual game rhythm. But when you have other teams not playing their starters, it's hard to get in that rhythm, because you can dominate that second team, then go out there, next thing you know, you're playing against the first team, and it's like, shit, man, and we're not as good as we thought we were. But I get what you're saying. You want to get into that live action.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to get guys on the field, get the speed of the game. Even if they are your second and third stringers, it's another team. You're getting different looks. You're getting somebody who's not your coach on the other side that you learn every day and participate in those situations. Again, a lot of different things, a lot of different looks the backfield gets, the quarterback gets. Those things are just in my question here. But let's jump on the board, as you did mention John's message here. John said, I tried watching the 3 games last night and quickly got bored. You know what? I was too, until the rookie for the Baltimore Ravens snapped his leg in half.
God,
not good. I feel bad for the young man. He snaps his leg in half while playing defense in the Ravens game. Yeah, you could see it hanging there. It was almost like that. What was it, Willis McGahee? Whenever his leg snapped in half, was it McGahee?
There's McGahee, and then was it the Lattimore from South Carolina had the same injury where
and it was the same thing. Their legs are basically hanging off and pointing in the different Joe Theismann. I mean, if you've seen it last night, you know exactly what we mean. Let's see. John says that is why it's hard to bet on or determine how good a team is in the first 4 games of the season, because that is the new preseason. That's a theory, because it's holds true to a degree. But the other teams, like a couple years ago, when San Francisco was just ready right out of the gate, that's where you kind of put yourself behind the 8 ball. When there's a team that's really prepared, and then there's teams that kind of haphazardly go through the preseason as we're speaking, for one reason or another, and then they face a team that's red hot, and then it comes down to the year, and it's like, wow, if we could have hung into that game or won that first game, or even been in that first game, this 1 game difference at the end of the year where we lose the division by 1 game or so, comes into effect. Always my argument in baseball. A lot of people, Mike, every single play in baseball is meaningless as it seems, because there's 10 million games. 1 play could be the difference at the end of the year. If you're fighting for a wild card spot and you miss it by a game or a half a game, it could have been that hustle on 1 particular play. You don't think of it that way when it's in real time. But when you look back, you're like, wow, if we could just won 2 more games throughout 162 games, we would be in better shape now. So that's just my point, Mike. Just going, giving it everything, going A to Z, and trying to win every game. But again, Mike, you don't know what the thought process is. Again, coming out of preseason, some teams prepare better than others. Again, I mean, for reasons rightfully so, they want to avoid injuries, and that's totally understandable. But at some point, you got to just suck it up and play football, because that's what it's all about. I do want to say good morning to Coaster Holics on the board. John as well also had to say Pickett had a perfect QB rating heading to the Hall of Fame. Heading to the Hall of Fame already. Excited to finally see Roman play. Oh, me too. Roman Wilson is going to be a big part of my excitement tomorrow, Mike, amongst a lot of other things. There's a lot of things going on. As we mentioned at the top, we did give the list of guys that will not be participating in the game tomorrow. We'll hit that list later, Mike, in case anybody else missed it or they didn't see it. But then I also do want to say good morning to Corey as well. Corey Beavers, my man. He says, how's it going, guys? Can we just let Cam go now? It seems like we just have guys lined up to be the next asshole who needs to leave. You know what? This sudden revelation, Mike, this at the last moment, if you will, in my opinion, I think the timing is shitty. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, okay. With that being said, Cam, he's holding in. If anybody missed this, Cam just announced yesterday. Well, apparently they were working behind closed doors momentarily. So this is the story. He's holding in. He wants a new deal. Cam Hayward does just 1 year after agreeing to his 3-year, $51.4 million. Apparently, Cam and the Steelers have addressed this privately, but they have not made any progress on a reworked deal. In the meantime, he has not been full participant at camp, Mike, the past couple of days. Early on, we wondered, why is Cam on the other side of the field practicing by himself during 7-on-7? Why is Cam not participating in this? Yesterday, Cam was only in street clothes, shorts. Mike, is the timing of what Cam Hayward is doing, is it shitty? And if so, why is he doing this now? What's his deal?
It's a very shitty way of what he's doing, because he has no more guaranteed money after this year, and that's his sticking point. Well, Cam, you signed this contract after you had 2 down years. The Steelers rewarded you with a 3-year, $51 million contract. They rewarded you with a new contract after you had down years. They showed faith in you, and now you want to turn around and go, no, I don't think so. I want more money now. You're the second highest paid player on the team.
Who does he think he is at this point, Mike? Who does he think? Does he think that
it's him and Aaron Donald? It's him and Aaron Donald.
I mean, come on, dude. At this point, I could do without him. I got to be honest with you. With Black on this team, Mike, at this point, I could do without Cam Hayward. Yes, he overachieved last year compared to what he did the previous 2 years. Was it because he got his money last year? I don't know. What do we honestly expect to see from Cam Hayward this year, Mike, after sulking here at this last moment before we start preseason games? What do you expect to actually see? Do you expect to see the overachieving Cam Hayward that we seen last year, or do you expect to see the Cam that we started to see the few years prior on a decline, kind of falling on tackles here? Wasn't really that threat that he was last year. He did make a wave last year, but Mike, what Cam Hayward do you expect to see this season?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. Like you said, that 2023 year, he played 11 games, was hurt, was very ineffective when he played, and then last year he had that resurgence. But you go back looking. 2022, 2021, he was damn good. Double-digit sacks both those years. But you look from 2018, 2019, 2020, the production wasn't there. Then he had those 2 good years, got hurt, and then the team rewarded him. Hey, we're going to come back. We have faith in you. And this is how he repays that. Like, they didn't have to give you this contract. You didn't have to sign this contract or extension or whatever they did for you to give you more money, dude. And then you did, to guarantee you a spot on this team, because you were in threat of being cut. They showed the faith in you, giving you a lot of money last year, giving you a lot of money this year. Yes, next year your guarantee money goes out. You only have a roster bonus. Well, guess what? You signed it. You signed that contract. You took a chance on yourself, and you won, but they gave you a lot of money this year and last year. And now that this team is ready to go all in, TJ Watt, TJ Watt had a case. He was coming up to the final year of his contract. He wanted that security to know, okay, I'm there. Cam, you still have this year and next year to go. Come on, buddy. And I think and they just reworked your contract last year. You have no individual awards. TJ Watt at least can point to a Defensive Player of the Year award. And TJ Watt can point to, hey, since I came into the league, I've been the most dominant at my position. I've been the most dominant at my position historically through my first 100 games. Cam, you don't have that. You are, and this is exposing him as the me first selfish guy that.
Well, Mike, this is nothing different than you say all the time. This is the Cam Hayward that we know. This is the Cam Hayward that we know on the show. This is the Cam Hayward up to last year when he signed his $51.4 million contract. We said that he didn't deserve this. Now, this is a good example of him soaking around. Mike, here's the thing. He's assuming maybe since I had this really good year last year, I deserve more money. I think the money that they gave him, as you said, is the reward ahead of. I gave you this money. Now you go out and play really good. So now we're even. What does he want again at 36 years old? He wants to go out and come on. Absolutely insane. Mike, more scooping. I'm going to let you dive back in. Cam, as of yesterday, Cam declined any interviews. This is nice, Cam. This is the Cam that sugarcoats everything to make all the asshole moves not look so bad, and they're all coming to the head right now. The timing on this couldn't be any worse for this football team. Cam declined any interviews yesterday after practice, then posted. He had a post on Instagram. Mike, just give me a moment. I'll pull that up here.
Yeah.
It's just one of these ridiculous. Give me a second. I'll have it for you.
Yeah, it's just comical at this point with Cam. This is like, and fans are starting to see it online. I'm seeing the sentiment of the fans starting to turn against Cam Hayward.
And for the right reasons. But here's what he was again. He declined any interviews after practice yesterday. Again, this is Mr. PR. And then on his Instagram page, this post goes up shortly thereafter. When you take things for granted, the things you are granted get taken. Now he's going to be Mr. Sentimental, cryptic message, take things for granted, kind of bullshit post. And Mike, at this point, give me Black. Get his ass. 36 years old. I'm not splurging to give him money. At this point, the way he handled this, you take care of this during the offseason. My games start tomorrow. This is not cool.
Yeah, it's not cool at all. And Cam, the Steelers did not take you for granted. They reworked your contract. They added more years to your deal. Yes, the last year was a team-friendly deal. Surprise, surprise, because you've made over $134 million in your career for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have not taken you for granted.
No.
At all. They gave you that raise last year when you didn't deserve it because they bet on you. They put their faith in you while you bet on yourself. The team had your back. And Cam, you played 71% of the snaps last year. 71% of the snaps. Are you fucking kidding me? And you want more money and you say you're one of the best in the league. Why are you off the field that much?
Mike, in full pads just 3 days ago. Again, we picked up on it kind of early. What's going on with Cam? Again, certain 7-7s, certain this, certain that. We noticed that Cam was off the field participating by himself. We questioned it here on the show. Not quite know what was going on yet. But again, all pouring out. Mike, just 3 days ago, he was in full pads. Yesterday, shorts and street clothes on the sideline. Mike, this doesn't appear to like it's going to be fixed anytime in the relatively near future to where, again, whether or not he was going to participate tomorrow, probably not looking at this list. But, Mike, this just tells me going game one into the season. I mean, this is where this is game 1 of 20 if you look at it that way. Yeah. And here we go, Cam. The day before, Mike, I'm not cool with this. I'm not cool with this at all, and especially everything that we've said on this show about Cam up to this point. This is all coming out now into the public, and more and more people are going to see it. Not cool, my man. Not cool, no. Cam. Go ahead and finish, Mike, with a statement, then we're going to get some of the messages.
Yeah, it's just wild, dude. You're the second highest paid player on the team. Like
he's not getting paid.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, Boswell has more of a case to want to hold out.
He's taking Pittsburgh for granted, is what he's doing.
Yeah, he is, really is. He knows he has the media, the Steeler media, in his back pocket. Like, the only person I saw on Twitter that I still follow from the Pittsburgh media that said anything bad about him was Josh Yohe. Because when Capoli tweeted out, I asked Cam for a comment, he said no comment, and Yohe's like, yeah, he's going to save it for the podcast. That's what Cam is now. He's all, and he exposed his ass in 2018 after that Jacksonville ass whooping, where the offensive players led by Ben were saying, hey, we messed up. We had to do more. And Cam was going, or no, like the guys on offense, like, hey, I messed up. Ben's like, I messed up. We as a group have to do better, but I messed up. Cam's going, oh, we have to play better. We guys around here have to step and do more. He took no personal accountability. Before that game, I was a huge Cam Hayward fan. After that game, there's a bad taste in my mouth, and I have been proven right ever since. He is such a me guy. He's more worried about arbitrary rankings where he lines up with other defensive line instead of actually
PFF
producing.
is saying about him.
Yeah.
Come on.
One sack in the playoffs.
And you got to be honest. You have to think that he should be on his hands and knees thanking these people for putting him in the top category at defensive tackle. And again, I can think of two guys right off the top of my head I think that are head and shoulders better than he is. And again, they still have him in the top spot. Listen, this isn't a go off on Cam Day. It's just kind of upsetting. Again, the way he handled this, Mike. Yeah. And again, we got football on TV tomorrow. He is amongst the list of go ahead. I just want to say he is on the list of amongst the guys that aren't going to be participating. We'll give you that read down in just a second. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, he has 1 sack in 9 career playoff games, 17 tackles. And this guy wants to argue that he is a great.
Great. I don't know about that. Let me give you this list. Now we're going to get on this board, Mike. Again, this is the list of Steelers that will not be participating in the game tomorrow. Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, Jalen Warren, Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, Isaac Seumalo, Jalen Ramsey, JPJ, Darius Slay, Deshaun Elliott, Patrick Queen, TJ, Cam, Nick Herbig, and Chris Boswell. I'm going to get to Boswell in just 1 second, Mike. But let's get to some of these messages on the board. A lot of good messages on the board this morning. And I do want to say to everybody, welcome to the show. I'm going to go right here where Cody says, good morning. I don't want to say good morning to Cody. Always great seeing Cody on the board. Cody says that Cam saying he's underpaid and playing 50% is bullshit. He should have came with that mindset last year, but he's a day late and $1 short. Yeah, we'll get into more of this throughout the show. Definitely. Good comment, Cody. John says Cam shouldn't have signed the contract. Now he wants more. Fuck his old ass. Corey says, Cody, if you got the money you wanted initially, then you have to shut up. You had a chance to advocate for more and you didn't. Cody responds and says that at 36 years old, the fuck, in his way of thinking, if he plays like shit, can we lower his pay? Right. What about all them years, Mike, where he underachieved? Exactly. Why don't you give some of that money back, Cam, if it plays like this? Yeah,
where the team rewarded you with, hey, we know what you did.
You understand what a contract is? You understand what the word means? Yeah. I don't think he does.
Yeah.
And that big head of his.
Yeah, the team showed faith in you. They could have justified letting you go last year, not re-signing you, letting you play out your contract and go on your merry way, or letting you hit free agency. They did not. They put their faith in you. They made you the second highest paid player on the team. And this is what you do. It makes no sense. Yeah, teams, we see it all the time. Teams cut guys left and right, but Pittsburgh doesn't do that to guys who have proven themselves. He missed. Yeah, it's what he is doing is shitty.
John says he can take his no talent brother with him.
Right?
Yeah, maybe might be the only way we could get rid of the little runt. Cody says, but Connor and tell Cam he can have his money, greedy fuck. Trade him for Cam. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If he's as valuable as he is, we should be able to get a straight up trade on somebody like Terry McLaurin, but guaranteed that's not going to happen.
And Washington would go Omar. Or are you? They would ask Omar if he was okay.
Yeah,
they needed to send an ambulance. They would be worried about his mental well-being.
And I wonder why a trade like that couldn't be straight up, Mike. Because if he's such a superstar and as good as he says he is, this should be a no-brainer.
Yeah,
but I think we're seeing what's going on here. John says another example not to attach emotions to a stranger who's getting paid to entertain you. It is easy to cut and walk. Absolutely, man. And people do like Cam a lot in Pittsburgh because he plays the game. The game he plays, he doesn't. In my opinion,
he works.
Like the game he plays, I don't think he plays to his potential. But the game he's playing, playing well because he's getting over on people in Pittsburgh right now.
Dude, I love. If Barry Bonds had his media savvy of Cam Hayward, no one would have accused Barry Bonds of steroids or anything. They would have swept him under the rug. He'd be in the Hall of Fame right now. And if Cam Hayward had the Barry Bonds attitude, his piss poor performances would have been exposed, and his me first attitude would have been exposed a long time ago. It just shows how you can work that media, and they will work in your favor.
Coasterholics says love Cam, and I'm all for guys getting paid. I was having likewise. So am I. Sir.
Yeah. Get your money.
Absolutely. I was happy to see Cam getting paid, but I definitely think Cam is in the wrong here. Jen, always great seeing Jen on the
What
board
up,
as well.
Jen?
Good morning, Jen. John says money will expose one's narcissism because cash makes it easy to be an ass. It's true. Let's see. Kenneth, my man, what's up, brother?
Oh,
Always great
Kenneth.
seeing you on the board. Kenneth says, bad look. He signed a contract. Where's the Steelers honor you preach about? It's easy to say it. It's easy to say.
It's hard to live it.
And the thing is, because everybody's going to love you and jump on your bandwagon when you say things like this. And again, he knows how to play that game. That game, that game, he's an all-pro.
Oh, fuck yeah, he's a Hall of Famer at that game, bro.
If he was getting paid for that, give him his money. Vegas, what's up, brother? He says, happy Friday, everybody. Always great seeing Vegas on the board. Happy Steeler Friday, guys, because the Steelers are in Jacksonville tomorrow. Albeit not with all their starters, but again, why do we watch preseason? To learn a lot about rookies, newcomers, incomers, and then things like this. So I'm not too discouraged. We are going to see starters as preseason goes on. I do believe this, guys. And again, like we said yesterday, Mike, Aaron Rodgers said he's willing to play. I don't think he's going to play, especially tomorrow. Yeah. But he did say that he is willing to play. So, guys, there is still 3 weeks, 2 more weeks after this ahead of us. We got football tomorrow, Mike. Yeah. That's what's important. 7:00 p.m. Jacksonville tomorrow.
Yeah, I think next week we're going to see the guys because it's the home game.
It's home, yeah.
It's home, yeah.
Cody said, in all reality, the defense hasn't been that good since he got here. He got here in 2012. The offense really held the team from 2012 to 2020. Jen says, I think he knows the writing is on the wall, that the other players behind him are looking good, and this will most likely be his last season. That's a very good way to look at it as well. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he sees Black climbing up his ass. I mean, this kid, I want to see him play a lot, Mike, over the next 3 weeks. Talking about Black. Corey says, trade Cam, Connor, Brojo for Terry in a fourth. Get all the problems out at the same time. You know what? I don't even care about the fourth. Just give me Terry. We'll give you all them guys, and I'll be thrilled.
I don't know. I'm just saying, Brojo had a really good couple practices back to back. I'm starting to come back on him.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't strike out every once in a while when I was in Little.
I know, right?
Don't go by that.
Let me have moral victories here, brother.
Right. Cody says some salty and jealous of TJ Watt. Someone sounds is what he's saying, guys. So with that being said, we gave you the list a couple times. We'll repeat it again as the show goes on. But Mike, the other half of this, it gets interesting because we get this news yesterday. Matter of fact, I get it in the group chat, and everybody's kind of going off on the situation. What's this dude doing? But immediately after that, Mike, you can't be fair with talking about this if you don't talk about the other player as well. Chris Boswell, within the hour, I believe, comes out and says now that he wants a pay raise just a day before the preseason starts. Mike, where does this land with you?
I'm okay with Boz asking for more money.
Is it because he's the best kicker in the league and maybe
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and he literally single-handedly won us like at least 2 or 3 games last year. Without him, we don't win Atlanta. Without him, there's like at least 2 other games. We don't win games.
Mike, last year he was AFC North's lowest paid kicker.
Yeah.
He was just a couple years ago the highest paid kicker. Now with the way the league goes, money is changing. And Mike, last year the best kicker in the league was the lowest paid kicker in the AFC North. Things like this is this kind of where you justify what Chris is doing compared to what Cam is doing?
Exactly. Yeah, and for Boz, I can see him kicking for a lot longer than Cam Hayward would be here. Reward Boz. Boswell literally had 1 bad year here, and he overcame that and has been kicking his ass.
Mike, is Boz the best kicker that's ever kicked here, with the exception of Gary Anderson? I mean, there was Jeff Reed. There was a few other...
by far. I think he might be better than Gary Anderson.
Well, that's gonna get. He's gonna have to do some catching up still.
Yeah, but points wise, and everything. But I think I trust. And kickers are different now. Kickers kick longer than they did back in the day. Yeah, I think they're really fucking close. Boz goes out there. I have no doubt in my mind that he's gonna make that kick.
Because with Boswell, I mean, like Gary, during his tenure here, Mike, there wasn't a whole ton of offense being had.
Yeah.
We could talk about the last 4 years, but then even going back 8 years to 10 years, the offense still wasn't with, in the final years of Ben's career, the offense wasn't amazing, Mike. So, he has the same opportunity a lot of the time that Gary Anderson does. The offense just can't poke it into the end zone. Bring out Gary, bring out Chris. You're going to get your points. So they have a very similar, situation where they've had the similar opportunities, if you will. But Mike, I would certainly have to say he's certainly in that top two, him and Gary Anderson. You could probably stick Skippy in there somewhere in the top 3, 4 to 5. And there's a couple other good kickers. Roy Girello, of course, from the 70s. Yeah. Names like this you can't deny. But at the end of the day, Mike, Chris Boswell could easily be the 1-2 best ever in the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. Atlanta and the Baltimore games are the ones where he scored every single point for us.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And
we don't win those games without him. And I think we can win a lot of these games without what's his face, without Cam. So
that's a good argument.
Yeah, and Boss has not let us down in the playoffs.
Let's jump on the board. Vegas is, I think they will sign Cam before week 1 to a new 2-year deal where they guarantee this season's salary, and he will be in position this time next year. Vegas says Derpy struck out playing kickball. I bet she struck out all the time playing kickball.
Hey, all I'm going to say is in the playoffs, Chris Boswell is 100% for field goals.
All right. And compare those to Cam's, 1 sack?
1 sack and a shit ton of playoff appearances.
Cody says, nope, I'm cool with paying Boswell. John says, Cody, agree. The media sells the Steelers D like it was the steel curtain the last 5 playoff games. To tell the truth, they gave up 300 yards rushing against the Ravens last year. Cody says, pay Boswell whatever he wants. John follows that up by saying that is why the D had to show me before I was believing anything. Corey said, nah, bro, Joe is pulling a Matt Cannon every time we talked about letting him go. He did just enough to stay until we couldn't keep up. Let him go. Let him walk to Washington, and the other guys are scary. Terry. Kenneth says, Boz is definitely due for something guaranteed. This is different. I mean, Mike's making a lot of good points. I mean, as far as, and if you're looking at it as a fan.
Can someone capture that audio, please?
See, didn't I just tell you about a year ago? I'd say nice things about you every once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while.
And you know what? But you're nailing it on the head. I mean, us as fans, we want to see the performance. It's not my money. You pay these guys what you think it's worth. We'll argue about it. We'll talk about it. At the end of the day, I want the guys to perform out on that field, to do right by the uniform that we love and the colors that we love. And again, Boz is a lot more valuable. And that just comes down to, Mike, I mean, look at all the things that Boz did to win games, and compared to what he gets paid anyway to what somebody like Cam Hayward gets paid, just the position differential. But then you look at performance, as you're saying, Mike, 1 sack and X amount of playoff games, where last year alone, Chris Boswell, he's 100% in the playoffs. Last year alone, he wins you X amount of games. So again, I think a lot of your arguments are valid, Mike. Of course, getting the business end done of it, it's going to be a whole different story. But from a fan's point of view, these are the things I want the guys that are getting paid to perform. And is that crazy? Is that a crazy thing to want?
No.
If I'm giving you a shitload of money, it's kind of a trade. You play well for me, and I give you a lot of money. That's kind of how the workforce works. I don't know why this is not understood, right?
Exactly. And like here it's weird, like for Steelers Nation writ large, it seems like we hold guys who are drafted in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round higher than 1st, 2nd, 3rd round guys, Pro Bowlers, All Pros, the highest paid. Those guys get the pass, whereas everyone else gets that microscope that usually should be on the highest paid guys, your top guys. It's weird dynamic. The last, I want to say, about like 8 to 10 years of the way we view players around here has changed. Like the bottom feeders on the roster are held to an extremely high standard.
Cody said last year playoffs against the Ravens, 300 yards rushing. Where was Cam shutting down 300 yards worth of rushing in the playoffs last year when the money counts?
Yep.
This is why you give people big money to play big-time football in big games. He gets shut down. We give up 300 yards. They should walk in with a stat sheet during these negotiations and just slap it down on top of the paperwork that Cam has and say, this right here, my friend, is why we're going to continue to do the things the way that we agreed on a year ago. when we decided to give you 51.4 million,
Yeah.
and you thought that was a great idea then, Mike. So let's move on.
Why do you think we drafted Harmon and why you black?
Exactly. Exactly. Vegas, was Brojo going up against the ones, or did he do well versus the backups? That I'm not sure about, Mike.
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
Okay. John says Boz promised to be the number one kicker as long as they don't make him a quarterback again. Hey, you know what? He had a nice touchdown throw. I just seen the highlight the other day, Mike. I can't remember who or when it was against, but Boz did have a nice touchdown throw a few years back, if I remember.
He's still having PTSD of potentially having to watch James Harrison's back. That's why he don't miss.
That's right. I would never miss the rest of my life. That was
no.
Vegas says, will the team retire Boswell's number when he retires like they have done with number one? Highly doubted. I think number 3 is a number that's not going to get anytime soon.
He's
at least.
Number 9, isn't he?
I don't know. What is he 9? Yeah, he's 9.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking of Skippy. But anyway.
Yeah, you almost gaslit me into believing.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to retire number 9. I'm going to be honest with you. If number 12 is not retired for the Steelers, I don't think number 9 will be retired anytime soon. But number 1's just a number like number 00. It was kind of easy to retire in a sense.
Yeah.
But yes, I was definitely thinking of Skippy. Sorry about that, Mike. Cody says the difference between Boz and Hayward is Boz isn't loud about his shit. Cam sounds like a crybaby, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
John says Derpy couldn't medal in the Special Olympics.
I feel terrible laughing at that.
Well, it's true.
Good one.
Jen says, I think I saw that a raise of 1.5 would put Bill Boz at the highest paid. What's 1.5? Exactly. Especially in a position that's so valuable. That's what's crazy about football. The kicking position is so valuable. It wins and loses, and often wins games. And these guys still get paid like they're rookies. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, because like the highest paid kicker, she's right, is Buckert at 6.4 million, and Boz is at 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you can easily extend Boz for another like 3 years. I'd do 3 years, 21 million. Fuck, give him 7.
Vegas says Vanilla gets 1 compliment per year from Ryan. No more. That's right.
No more, no less.
I run a tight ship on that.
Yeah, he does.
Coasterholic says Tomlin says it best. Boz gets us in and out of stadiums, and I agree. Pay the dude. And again, for what that the guy gets paid, scrape it out of Cam's wallet and give him whatever's left at the bottom, and it'll probably. Come on, how retarded, right?
Like we bitch when like teams. You see teams like. Look at Buffalo. They have no Super Bowl wins because their idiot kicker. Same thing with the Colts. They should have beat us, but their idiot kicker, missed that kick. Kicking is so fucking important. Pay the man.
Yeah. Otherwise, good kickers. Don't get me wrong. The guy from the Colts and the guy from Buffalo had good careers. It's when it matters. It's when it counts. That's why these guys get paid the big dollars. Cody says, I'm gonna laugh my ass off when Boz gets paid and Cam doesn't. Yeah. John says actual truth criticism is considered negativity in our society. It is our culture now. Also follows it up by saying Boz and Muth both keep their mouth closed. Vegas says get rid of his brother and give Cam that money. The money that Cam or the money that Connor stole the past couple of years. Come on, I mean, is he really getting his work in, Mike, for what we're whatever? I don't know what Connor's getting paid, but I'm sure it's more than what he's.
I'll find out what Connor Hayward's getting paid.
I mean, if it's more than minimum wage, I'm going to be pissed because this guy really does nothing on his team. As Mike is looking that up, I'm going to get Corey's comment. Corey says Cam is shooting himself in the foot right now. If Harmon and Black show out in the preseason and show they don't need Cam, then can trade him and save cap space and keep. And that's the thing, he gets paid so much money. If we could sever that tie, what else can we get? What else can we get if we don't have Cam to pay out to at this point with the amount that he's making? Again, Mike said I think the second highest paid on the team. We could certainly.
Connor's at 1.13.
All right. So, I mean, do you think what you seen Connor Hayward do over the past year or 2 years? Do you think it's worth $1 million?
Yeah, for special teams at the bottom of the roster, that rookie contract slotted in there, it balances out. Yeah,
I guess in football
for
terms,
for a sixth round pick in the last year of his 4-year deal. Yeah,
I got to be honest. I've done more work than that, taking the garbage out to the sidewalk sometimes, Mike. But again, this is the business. They give you a lot of money to do nothing sometime, which seems to be the case because Connor. I forget he's on our football team a lot of the time.
Yeah, and the thing is though with like Cam, if we would cut him now, like I don't know how all the cash shit works, but he has a 13.5 dead cap space. But or we let him ride the pine this year and he holds out and doesn't want to play, fine, we cut him next year free and clear.
Yeah.
And save $19 million.
They're not gonna. It's not gonna play out that way. It's not gonna play out that way. Again, everything we're talking about, you want the right thing to happen, but at the end of the day, they're going to figure something out. I think that they'll figure it out, Mike, whether we think it's fair or not. I do want to say good morning to Ralph. Ralph on the board. Always great to see Ralph Williams. What's up, man? John says Bill Belichick would have gotten rid of Cam before the contract. And Coaster Holic says Connor wouldn't be in the league if it wasn't for Cam. Connor should pay Cam. He should give him his money is the difference. Maybe that be the case. But again, guys, the Steelers wrap up their last practice before the Jacksonville Jaguar preseason game yesterday, guys. They wrapped up their practice. They're off today, on to Florida. Tomorrow, 7:00 p.m., the Steelers will be playing at Jacksonville in their first preseason game, Mike. I'll give you the list in just a moment of the guys that will not be participating for the Steelers. But we do know at this point Jacksonville is playing starters. I don't know if it's all of them. I don't know to what degree, but they did announce they are playing they're playing starters, and they also did announce that Travis Hunter, the rookie, will make his two-way debut playing wide receiver and cornerback. So just as a football fan sitting back watching football tomorrow, taking it in, learning a little bit, I think getting an opportunity to see this rookie Travis Hunter, is he going to be able to carry that load that only a couple people has ever been able to do in the NFL?
Yeah, I want to see if he can do it. I don't think he can, and that's not a knock against him. It's just the rigors of the NFL is so much different than any college program.
And more people would do it if it was such an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
These guys are all very good athletes, right?
Yeah, and it's like, you have to get the minutia of every of the position down to get to that high of where you want him to be. And you kind of have to hyper focus on both. I know they were raving about his cardiovascular and how he just does not stop. His energy level is just high, but how's that going to be after, getting hit by the best of the best in the NFL? Playing in college, like you might go up against one or two good teams that might have one, maybe two guys who are going to be playing every day on Sunday. Now you're playing against guys who earned the right to be in the NFL. You're going up against the best of the best. How is his body physically going to recover from the beating? I'm not worried about his conditioning. It's that beating that the body's going to take.
So again, that's 7:00 tomorrow, guys. I know everybody's just chomping at the bit to get to this first preseason game. That way you could, we've seen NFL football. We've seen 3 games last night. We've seen a game last week. Everybody knows it's here. It's underway. But once we see our black and our gold out there on that football field tomorrow, that's when it officially kicks off for us. So I know everybody's excited, Mike, heading into this game. Again, the 3 games last night, the Ravens, they beat the Colts 24-16, where their rookie, his last name is Cone. I can't pronounce his first name, Bihlal, but his last name is Kone. Cone snaps his leg in half, Joe Theismann style, on defense in the end zone, while covering an Indianapolis Colt, Mike. Hopefully his career isn't done, but it doesn't look good for that young man. The Eagles, after Joe Burrow starts out going 9 for 10 for the Bengals, the Philadelphia Eagles pulls out the win and wins 34-27 over the Bengals. And then finally the late game, Mike, the Raiders and Seahawks, an old AFC West matchup. They finish in a 23-23 tie. Tonight, you got the Browns at the Panthers at 7:00, the Lions at the Falcons at 7:00, and then 7:30, the Commanders and Patriots. Those games are today. Again, the Steelers back at it tomorrow, 7:00, the first game in Jacksonville. Mike, this is a list of the guys that will not be participating tomorrow as of right now. Aaron Rodgers will not be playing tomorrow, although he says he's willing to play if needed. I like that. That, Mike. That's not diva shit that I expected from him.
No.
DK Metcalf was not participating in this following list, will not be participating tomorrow night. Jalen Warren, Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, Isaac Seumalo, Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr., Darius Slay, Deshaun Elliott, Patrick Queen, TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Nick Herbig, and Chris Boswell. All these gentlemen will not be playing. Again, Mike, game 1, not a big surprise. Because you do want to see a lot of the younger guys. You want to see rookies, and this is what you're looking for. And as Coach Tomlin says, these guys need less runway. Yeah. His newest Tomlinism that he just,
I love it.
He just came with
taking
yesterday.
off, baby.
He says less runway to be ready for the regular season. However, we will see more of those guys as the time goes on. I think Tampa Bay, you're going to start seeing some reps, and then also in the Carolina game. But tomorrow, it's the day just to get comfy, right? Dip our toe in the water, if you will. See some new guys, see some new numbers, let it set in, and go down to Jacksonville, Mike, to play a team that's playing their starters. So again, we could get an opportunity to see how some of these rookies and backups and players like this are going to play against starters. In the NFL.
I'm all for that. You want to see how your depth's going to do, and I like to see. I like that our entire offense. I would have wished Ciamalo was out there, but I get it. Don't put him out there. He is older, but let those young offensive linemen out there, because that's going to be your starting O-line. Outside of probably like Spencer Anderson's probably going to get the snaps there at left guard. So, and he started some games last year, so that's going to be good too. That O-line is going to know each other out there. I want to see what that 5-man unit does against that first team unit from Jacksonville. Get that O-line to get them gauged kind of where they're at. See what kind of jump the second-year guys are going to make. See what kind of progress, if any, Broderick Jones has made. I like to see that. And, Jonnu Smith not playing, Freiermuth not playing. We got 95 tight ends. I think we're fine there.
Oh, yeah, that's certainly not a concern. I don't think, at the tight end position. Mike, let me grab a couple of these messages before we do move on. Right here, Ralph says Cam Hayward needs to shut up, and Connor Hayward may not make the team, and Boswell should honor his current contract. What Ralph is saying. Kenneth is saying the worst part is the Steelers did Cam a favor, trying to get him a Super Bowl, and he shakes them down. Ralph is saying that Cam will never get a Super Bowl with Mike Tomlin. Vegas says they will both get paid, and it will somehow lower their overall cap hits. Sorry, but I don't speak salary cap and ease, is what Vegas is saying.
Doesn't it always seem like that? Oh, this guy got a $14 million raise, but it lowers the cap by $27 million.
Yeah, right. Let's see. John says Hunter won't be a true Iron Man, playing all the snaps on both sides of the balls like the old days.
I can see them. I think he's playing more wide receiver than corner. I think that's their plan. So it wouldn't surprise me if they have some sub packages for him on defense and not let him start, like you're saying. That would be smart. I want to protect my investment.
Jen can't wait to see Dylan Cook. I mean, well, obviously he might be a player that we're gonna have to rely on.
Yeah.
If the injury thing keeps happening, Mike, we hope that slows down a little bit. But Dylan Cook can certainly be playing a big role this year.
I want to see every tackle not named Broderick Jones to see how they're going to do to replace Broderick Jones.
Yeah, exactly. And especially as you said yesterday, Mike, we did acquire 2 new people yesterday, one of them being an offensive lineman. He played more snaps as a guard than he did a tackle. He played about 2,000 snaps as a tackle in his career compared to about 5,000, I think, as a guard, Mike.
Yeah.
Andrus Peat, the 3-time Pro Bowler, former Saint, we did sign yesterday, and also Mike Logan Woodside. Was at camp yesterday, backup quarterback, and he was wearing number 6 for anybody that's keeping track on that.
The Bubster's back.
The Bubster or the Duck, right? Duck was 6 as well.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Duck.
Cody says, I smashed my finger on a Halliburton valve, and it took me like 7 months to get back to normal. When you break a finger, there's not much you can do to fix it. I wonder when Howard will play. You know what? Coach is saying that he's not rolling out. He's not rolling out him playing in the preseason, which I think is absolutely retarded. Because the reason you want him to play is the reason so you can see what he's got. If you put him out, let me say you roll this guy out in 2 weeks, because think, guys, 2 weeks is going to be the last preseason game from tomorrow. So again, let's say you bring out Howard in 2 weeks, you're not going to get a look at Howard from what you wanted to see. You wanted to see what this kid could bring, and against give him a bunch of time in the preseason. If you give him some reps in 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, Mike, I don't think it's beneficial to anybody. I think you're putting him in a position to maybe even prolong his injury. At this point, even considering putting Will Howard in the game, I think is stupid.
Yeah, unless he's medically cleared to go, let him go. Don't rush him back.
Mike, have you ever had a broken bone? There's no way under any
No.
circumstance with a broken bone he should be cleared to play in 2 weeks. I just from breaking several bones in my life, it just doesn't seem logical to me. And again, I totally respect what you're saying. I just can't imagine that somebody will be ready to go in 2 weeks with any kind of
but
broken
like
bone.
on that throwing hand, that pinky resting there, it's got to be a comfortability thing in there, and it rotating off your hand. If it was his non-throwing hand, I'd be like,
story. Absolutely.
I think he would be out there.
Like,
but on the throwing hand,
he's a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what do the quarterbacks do?
Yep.
So that's what my only argument there. Ben did it with broken digits, Jen, and saying Ben was a whole different beast. He wasn't. Again, this is a kid that has never played a snap in the league. Ben was a monster. He had his nose broken, replaced on the side of his face, put back into place, goes back in. I think he won that football game. But again, I think that's the difference here. This kid, he may have a future in the league, and you probably don't want to put him in a bad situation. You wouldn't think, guys. Corey says, I want to see our 2s dominate the shitty Jacksonville 1s. I feel like they keep getting further away from Kansas City and closer to Cleveland. Jacksonville is a joke. Hey, you don't mess with that terrible towel, Mike.
No.
It all started when Trevor Lawrence messed with the terrible towel.
It did too. And they fucked up too a few years ago when they should have taken Aiden Hutchinson first overall, and they took someone else first overall and gifted him to the Lions. And that organization is a joke. And you don't fuck with the terrible towel.
No, that's what he gets, and it was ever since then. The little yellow towel, the little yellow flags that they wave around in Pittsburgh, something like that is what he said in that team, and that certain individual hasn't done great since. So you live and you learn. Vegas says, will his way to play in preseason game 3? will his way. I get it.
It gives me a stroke just reading that. Not because you or Vegas, but the English language. It fucks with my head. Sentences like that.
Corey says, didn't Pete go to the Pro Bowl one time as a tackle, though? Seems like he's efficient as both a tackle. I mean, that's why we brought him, obviously. We brought him for depth. He plays both. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. I'm not sure how it breaks down. But
I think one was at tackle, if I read correctly.
Okay, so, I mean, we'll take that. Again, that's why he's being brought here. We know that we have issues. This offensive line could potentially be, an issue as the season gets going. We have to wait and see if we can improve in time before the season starts, guys. But let me jump to the next one. Here we go. Corey says, look at it from Howard's perspective. He could go out and play. If he could go out and wants to play through some pain, then he's going to try this because this might be his only shot at showing what he's got before he gets buried on the chart. And remember, guys, if he doesn't, which I don't think he will, this makes for an interesting April. In 257 days when the draft comes, did the Steelers trade up? It could be a big draft for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, going after a quarterback, Mike, was something that's been talked about a lot.
Yeah.
So, him breaking his hand, it really, really goes against him. And I think it's unfortunate, Mike. And again, for the Steelers, how do you handle the situation not knowing what it is that you have sitting on the shelf?
Exactly. Yeah. Because they wanted to get that good look just to see if there were any NFL traits there that can translate into him potentially being a starter. Now that injury sets him back. Unfortunately, when players get injured, it kind of gets held against them. Like, hey, we need you to be ready game in, game out. Yeah, it might not have been your fault, but you got injured. Can we rely on you? You know how it is. You get one injury in the league, people want to start questioning your durability, rightly or wrongly.
Yeah, and then other guys, they get injured over and over and over, and it seems to not be an issue to anybody. But those are different problems for a different day. We could get into that later. Guys, this is what it looks like. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be heading down to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We do know there's a list of Steelers that will not be playing. We do know that the Jacksonville Jaguars will be playing starters. We do know that Travis Hunter will be making his 2-way debut. We know that the Steelers that aren't going to be playing, it's because there's less runway that they need to prepare for the season, according to Coach Tomlin. He wouldn't say, Mike, if these guys if they were going to be participating in either of the other games as well. He just wouldn't say. They asked him, and he commented that he wouldn't give a comment on if these players were going to be available in the next 2 games, which I can't imagine in a million years they wouldn't be. But Tomlin had to play his Tomlin games behind the mic, and he says He would not say if these guys would be playing in other preseason games.
Yeah.
And maybe that was kind of pointed more toward Cam and Chris. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this was what Cam did say. Or I'm sorry, what Coach did say as the Steelers head down. Like a couple other side notes here. Talking about the defense. Of course, the defense is one of the bigger stories on this team this year. Might have to carry the load. Might not. I don't know. We don't know what this offense is going to bring. But Mike, one thing that Beanie Bishop said, Beanie Bishop says the DBs, they're not as robotic under Gerald Alexander, Mike. That kind of goes a long way on your team when you're able to just play football and it doesn't feel like it's robotic. It doesn't feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The secondary, they're primed to be pretty damn good this year, aren't they?
I think so. I think they're going to be damn good. Especially adding Jalen Ramsey there, like we've talked about. He is that fiery guy back there that I think not just the defense, but specifically that secondary is going to feed off of that energy and be ready to go. And he's a hitter. He's going to set a tone back there. And now you potentially have three guys who can just lock down just about any receiver in the league, or, give you a fighting chance against some of the best in the league. And we'll find out real quick, and definitely in week 4 when we have to match up against Jetta and then later on against Jamar Chase in the gang down in Cincy. But this secondary, I think they're going to do some – we're not going to have to worry about them like we did the last couple of years. So I don't think there's going to be any communication issues like we saw the past couple of years with, a certain someone no longer back there. I think this secondary is going to be a well-oiled machine. And like you said, Gerald Hawkins coming in as the new DB coach. Things are looking good for this defense. I know it's just practicing training camp, but these guys are all over the place, locking guys down. And like when they get beat, it's like oh shit, they got beat by so-and-so. It's like a newsworthy event there at training camp. These guys are looking good.
Yeah, and I was thinking that too, guys. I don't know why. Again, we did made the comments about Bubby and Hawk and Duck. Of course, Patrick Queen is number 6, Mike. But again, he showed up really quick. I'm talking about Logan Woodside. Maybe they just grabbed the practice jersey from Patrick or just something maybe they had laying around. But of course, yes, Patrick Queen will certainly be number 6. I highly doubt Logan Woodside will take that number from Patrick Queen, right?
Yeah.
Mike, as we get ready to start our preseason football. And again, without Patrick playing tomorrow, or was he on the list? I don't know if he was on the list, but
I can't remember. I don't think I'm not sure, but I do know Peyton Wilson will have the green dot. That's what my inside sources are telling me.
All right, we like that. We like Peyton, and I think that he'll probably do a good job. Back on the board, Mike Vegas says, with no flag being thrown, even though there's a ref specifically looking at the quarterback.
Oh, yeah, when Nada come in and just punched him right in the nose.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was against the Ravens.
His nose was on this side of his face.
It was all over here.
Well, like Big Ben and Cam Newton had that. Oh, they're big guys. They can take the punishment. That's what all the officials would say.
Yeah, and you know what? That Tom Brady, who was treated like a princess, he was a pretty big guy too. I don't know. I just
he was a whiner.
Yeah. Vegas, I like the new replay rules saying that they can take flags back if they are wrong, like sideline tackles being out or not. I do too. I want the game to be right.
Yeah. I do like that they're not going to add penalties. Like we were reviewing this one, we noticed this flag fix the shit that was called wrong, stuff that gets missed. That shit gets missed all the time. I'm okay with that for now.
Yeah. So again, guys, the practicing is done. Anything that the Steelers had to do before preseason game 1 has been completed, guys. They're on their way to Jacksonville. Probably today. I don't know the situation on travels, but again, tomorrow at 7:00 p.m., the Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars will be taking the field to play against one another, Mike. And again, as a Steeler fan, I think even though a lot of these guys that will not be participating, it's still going to be very interesting. We're still going to be learning our rookies, Mike. I want to see Caleb Johnson run the football. I want to see every rookie. I want to see Harmon. I haven't heard any more about his injury situation, so he must be fine. Mike, there's a gang of guys that's going to be certainly on my interest list tomorrow evening when the Steelers take on the ones. A lot of ones for Jacksonville, apparently, from what we're hearing. They will be playing starters. So that's all tomorrow, Mike. Anything else, or I'm going to jump back on the board?
No, I'm good. Yeah.
All right. Mark Malone. Mark Malone, always great seeing him on the board. And he says Beaner is scared of being deported. I don't know where that comes
Beanie
from.
Bishop.
I
Yeah.
figured that, but he's not a. I don't know.
We're going to send him back to West Virginia.
Send him back to West Virginia. Corey says our defense in camp gives me Legion of Boom vibes. That would be incredible to see. Ramsey isn't going to do it all alone, but the energy he brought seems like it fired everybody up. Cody says, who are these defensive backs in preseason? I missed it. Trice is out. Bishop will probably be in. The other rookie got injured too, I think. Yeah, Mike, who are some of them younger guys?
So we got Beanie Bishop, Brandon Eccles. I think Dante Kent, I think he's out of his walking boot. Look for Darryl Porter Jr., who we just signed, Cameron McCutcheon, Deshaun Jameson, and Kyler McMichael. Who's who of that? Who's that guy?
Yeah. And though, again, I'm like, and then some of the linebackers and the linemen. I mean, again, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of guys that has come along. I want to see some of these younger linebackers. I want to see, some linemen. I want to see Black. There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That again, and we're still going to be yearning. Don't get me wrong. Tomorrow you're going to be like, I can't wait till we get to look at our first team. I mean, and of course. But again, guys, it's going to be here. This is the process that it takes. It's the steps that it takes. We are in week 1 of 21, I guess, if you look at it that way. That's included bye weeks and everything else. But it all starts tomorrow. Again, a couple games last night. Tonight, the Browns at the Panthers is a 7 o'clock start. Tonight, the Lions at the Falcons is a 7 o'clock start. And again, the Commanders at Patriots. That's another game tonight, Mike, the 7:30 game. And then tomorrow, there's a bunch of games. Sunday finishes up with 2 games for the weekend. And that is going to be the first complete full weekend of preseason football. Let me jump back on the board. Vegas said, sorry if you talked about this, but did you guys talk about the new Marshall AD and who he looks like? We did. You know what? I found out what the problem was. The picture that I had, it was a meme that somebody put up, and it looked like Carlton Banks from Fresh Prince. And I thought, wow, that looks a lot like him. Well, apparently it was him. It wasn't somebody that just really looked like him. The guy that Mike put up yesterday was the actual guy. So it kind of ruined the joke. It wasn't as funny as it was supposed to be. No wonder he looked like Carlton Banks. Also, Kenneth says, Howard could have had a hairline fracture, and I promise he wants to play. Absolutely. I think all these guys want to play. I think if you're a football player, you want to play.
Well, that's where, like the coaches and the medical staff have to come in and like, hey, for your best long-term future.
And, right. Cody said Ashton Genty didn't look good last night. You know what? I didn't catch much of them. How did he look? I didn't catch the late game.
I think he had like 3 carries for -1 yard.
You know what? If you follow anything that I say in the past, I don't think that he's going to be always cracked up to be, but that's just my opinion, and we're going to have to wait it out to see. But I was not sold on Ashton Genty, as everybody else was. Sticky B, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Sticky B. What you know about Sticky B? Happy Friday, sir. Mark Malone saying being cut. John says August is the Steelers' last preseason game. August 21, 13 more days to heal is a stretch. Yeah, that's what I'm saying for a broken bone. I mean, it could be more PR than anything. Cody said Sawyer and Herbig, Black and Harmon. That'll be fun to see. Also, Cody says Bill Cosby or Deshaun Watson. Vegas says Will could have had one left hand and he could have exactly. I mean, the guys, the guys want to get out there and play. This is what they do, and especially a guy like Howard, who, he's yearning to get out there. The guy wants to be a professional football player. He would rather be out there playing than standing on a sideline with his hand in a brace. I can promise you that, Mike. But again, there's a group of guys that will not be playing tomorrow, Mike, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll go through that list in just a moment. But do you want to jump on anything that was mentioned on the board just recently? Because I am going to send you a picture over, Mike, something funny that I'm going to need you to put up on the screen in a minute. So just give me about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Cody, Herbig's not playing tomorrow. He's one of the guys who was being held out, probably due to, I think, the way they're going to use him and to the injury of Highsmith. You don't want to risk him getting hurt. So that's probably why he's sitting out. But yeah, I want to see Wyatt Black, that big mountain of a human being. I want to see him kick some ass. It's going to be, I just want to see him push some people around.
He could be your new defensive tackle. Who knows?
Right? He could be. He's a huge man.
Mike, I'm going to send you this picture over here real
Yeah.
quick because I made a mistake yesterday, and I was telling a story about AB's tweet. I made a mistake and said it was Sophie Cunningham, and I was wrong. It wasn't her. It was somebody who has a similar look. The women's basketball player in the WNBA. Her name is Cameron Brink. Cameron Brink.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever seen this woman, Mike, this is the woman that AB says looks like Trevor Lawrence. So whenever Mike gets a chance, throw that up on the board. I think you'll find it funny again. AB seeing this picture or one that was similar to this and says that is Trevor Lawrence. So let me grab a couple messages while Mike is working on that. Vegas says, "Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play." RB, my man, what's going on, brother? Always great seeing RB on the board. RB says this game is going to be a total joke. Pittsburgh is going to get absolutely routed. John says Will Howard knows what time it is. And Corey says, I want to see Washington line up at fullback just for fun. Mike, you got that picture ready?
Hold on. It's being really stupid.
All right. Yeah, no, dude. Take your time, man.
All right. Give me 1 second here. 1 second here. Whenever you are ready, sir.
All right, so this was the tweet. The tweet was Antonio Brown said, "That's Trevor Lawrence," and this was the picture. And of course, that is Cameron Brink, who plays in the WNBA. Go ahead and take a moment, just get a look, and think of what Trevor Lawrence looks like. There you go, guys. That was the misquoted when I talked about the tweet yesterday that Antonio Brown put out. It was not Sophie Cunningham. It was Cameron Brink. I get the two confused, but that was her, which again, totally understandable once you see the picture, right?
Exactly. She does look like Trevor Lawrence. A much hotter looking Trevor Lawrence.
Absolutely. Vegas said a splitting image. RB says getting a fair, accurate read on anyone is going to be tough when all the talent is out there and the young guys are playing around warehouse men and personnel trainer. But the thing is too, also one thing that Mike was saying, RB, it is giving our second and third stringers an opportunity to play against Jacksonville starters. Jacksonville is playing starters. Travis Henry's making his two-way debut. So a lot of looks
Hunter.
that were what
Travis Hunter. You said Travis Henry.
Again, so,
you and names.
So again, we are going to be more prepared, I think, coming out of tomorrow's game than Jacksonville is, who's facing our second and third stringers. And when we're going to get an actual look of what our second and third stringers can do against starters. So I don't totally hate what's going on with the way that the game is being played tomorrow. Yes, I want to see starters. Yes, I want to get this thing on the road. But at the end of the day, you're going to get a look at some of these guys who may be a big part of this football team as early as this year, getting a chance to play against other teams' starters. That I'm cool with. I don't think that I have a problem with that. Let me go to I'm going to go to George Cole. George, welcome to the show. George says Pittsburgh is about to leave a legendary mark on the NFL with this squad. Mark my words. George, I hope you're right, my friend. I hope you're right. And you know what? I could see where you're coming from with that, Mike. This defense is looking like a defense that, again, like a video game defense, if you will.
It is too. Like it's Madden, turn off the salary cap and make every trade possible. Let's go. And my God, I like this defense. Like Juan Thornhill said, it has the potential to be something special in NFL history, and I just hope they can live up to it.
It's it's a long season. We will see, guys, but I like the way you think, George. Let's see. John says the Steelers better put Washington next to Jones. They got to figure something out with Jones. I mean, his left tackle position may be the Achilles heel of this team.
Hey.
And that's scary because, again, if you put together a video game type defense and you improve your offense, you don't want your left tackle to be your Achilles heel. But unfortunately, that's where we're at right now, guys. Broderick Jones has to step it up.
Put him out there at left tackle on an island and let Woodside get beat down. I don't care if Woodside gets sacked 700 times. I want to see what Broderick Jones can do because Woodside's going to be out of the league here in a minute. So this is why you brought in this 4-string quarterback.
Okay, considering he's the 9th string, why not have him get killed back here? What do I care, right?
Yeah.
Let's see where we at on the board here. I don't want to miss anybody right here. I'm going to say, hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon to Mick Carter. Always great to welcome to the show. Great to see you on the board. Mick says it's players like Cam that turns fans away. I think so, Mike, right?
Yeah.
But there's other people that just blindly love him, and Mike
Yeah.
that won't say a bad word about him. That's
No.
you
You
know.
can't say a bad word about Cam Hayward.
But I agree. I agree with Mick 100%. Great comment. Cody said, no way we lose to Jacksonville. I can only name like 2 players on their starting team.
It's preseason. I don't care if we win or lose.
Also, John says Lawrence is a bust. My dog, Mr. Jingles, and can read D's better. He was such a great player at Clemson. He really was. It's a disappointment. But you know what? You mess with the terrible towel, as he did, this is what happens. I don't care what you say. John said he's blind in one eye. Your dog. Corey says Trevor Lawrence looks like Sid the Sloth. Also, Cody says Trevor Lawrence, Travis Hunter, Tank Bigsby. RB says, I know what you're saying, but you can't get a read on anyone when there are 3-4 people you want to see, and the other 6-7 guys will be bringing you a whooper in 3 weeks. A whooper, I guess. I know. And you know what? I don't remember it used to being like this. It seems like every year Tomlin waters down his preseason. To me, it seems like anyway. Corey said, I'm sorry, Vegas. Corey Angel Reese looks like Sid. Oh, yeah, she does. Their eyes are one. She got a weird face too. Let's see. George says, no, it definitely sucks, but Cam is only making $1 million this year, but he's still one of the best in the league, and the market was reset last year. We definitely need to sign Boz, though. Mick said it's sad for anyone to just sign a multiple $1 million extension after 10 months, want more. Right. He just signed his 3-year, $51.4 million contract just 1 year ago, guys. So, and to come the last day, albeit a preseason game, it's still the last day before you're going to another state, another city to play another team. This is the problem we have to deal with now. Again, Cam Hayward, the last couple of days, not padded in practice. And early on, Mike and I did observe that he was practicing alone. There were situations where the team was participating in drills, and Cam was on the other side of the field, just kind of like picking flowers, as it appears, as you would see in Little League, Mike. The kids out in right field picking flowers is what Cam seemed to be doing at practice early on, opposed to participating in drills.
Yeah, he's been out there for drills here and there, but now that the contract isn't going the way he wants to, now he's
exactly. That's what we said early on. He participated, and then this week in shorts again, guys, and everybody else is in pads. John says the Steelers need to stop putting D players in cages and feeding them red meat without opening the door. Coaster Holic said, is Trevor Lawrence a bust at this point? I understand he hasn't had the best weapons at times, but the dude doesn't have it.
Yeah, he's not going to be the quarterback everyone thought he was going to be.
Not in Jacksonville anyway. If this guy ever gets a chance with a better team, I think you get better results, just as you do with all the good quarterbacks that come in early, with exception of people like Jaden Daniels takes their team to the NFC Championship, but that is way less likely than the other end of the spectrum, I think. RB says this is why this team is never on the same page and undisciplined to start the season every season. And then he follows it up by saying, I will say no one else wants to fuck Cam Hayward 2 years in a row is a slime ball shit.
Oh, we've been saying that for years, bro.
That's been our argument, man. Even when
we've been saying that since 2018.
When people were praising Cam, again, if you read between the lines, and again, last year, Mike, was a season that was not like the years prior. Again, you kind of started to see his production decline. Last year, he gets his money. Oh, now he's motivated to play. He goes out and has probably the best season he's had in 5 to 8 years. And then this year he comes back and wants another pay raise the day before preseason game starts. It's kind of a problem, and it should be a problem to fans. Why wasn't this brought up, talked about, taken care of at any point besides right now? Again, guys are hopping on the plane. We're going to another city. We're going to Florida to play football tomorrow, and we have to worry about Cam Hayward wanting a pay raise as we're walking out the door.
Because it's not going his way. It's not going how Cam thinks it should go, so therefore he's going to make it everyone else's problem.
John says Lawrence can't read NFL Ds. He's done. RB says Cam thinks he's Joe Green level of Steelers royalty, and he's not. Even close and falling further down. And you know what? It's his ability, his PR, his on the mic It's in front of the camera is why people love Cam Hayward. I think he is a really good football player on the field. Am I saying he's one of the best? I'm not. I don't think he's one of the best. Certainly not one of the best Steelers ever. And again, I can think of a couple guys right off the top of my head in the league right now that I would play in front of Cam Hayward.
Dude, I can think of the Steeler legends that I would take over this guy. Big Snacks. Hell, I'd take Kimo Von Hohenhofen over him because he performed in the playoffs. You know, shit, man. Aaron Smith, Diesel.
Absolutely. Of course I would take them guys. Them guys accomplished something, right?
Yep.
Let me pull up one chart here, Mike. I do want to tell you this, guys. The Steelers, if you're thinking about the winning this division, which again, that's a goal that a lot of people have going into a season right now, the percentage odds of the Steelers winning the AFC North are just at 15.5%, while the Ravens, the hated Ravens, sit at 73.5% odds of winning the AFC North this year. This is by way of, I do believe it is Sportsline. Also, Mike, third with odds of winning this division is the Cincinnati Bengals with a 10.8% chance. And at the very bottom, no surprise to anybody, in the basement, Mike, with a 0.2 chance to win the division is the Cleveland Browns. They have as good a chance to win the division as they are giving us to win, be in the Super Bowl, Mike. Maybe right around the same.
That is, that's not good for Cleveland.
Why do they even participate at this point? You know what I mean?
Right? Exactly. Can they disband that team?
Let's see. RB says it's because his greedy ass sees money on the cap left. Corey says Lawrence is a moron anyway. He said he loved it in Jacksonville, so you love being a loser. Way to shoot for the stars. P, what's up, brother? Always great seeing P. P on Steeler game eve, my man. Great seeing you, my friend. He says Trevor Lawrence is on a 5-year, $275 million extension of bumminess. Crickets. Great seeing you, P. Hope you're ready for the game tomorrow, my brother.
Yeah.
Vegas says the AD does look like a giant, obese Carlton Banks. Again, the picture that I saw, I think it was Carlton Banks, and he just morphed it. And the joke wasn't what it should have been. The picture that I seen initially, it wasn't accurate, so I do apologize. Jen says, give Boz and Cam a $1.5 million raise. And John says, players want to be paid. Mercenaries, those kinds of soldiers are always expendable. That is why the French Foreign Legion has high casualties. Guys, let me talk about this defense for a moment. We're talking about how this can be a special group, Mike. This is not necessarily about our defense, but this list here is a top 10 list of the fewest points per game allowed by certain defenses since 2000, first 25 years of the century. 2019 Patriots, actually, Mike, is number 10. They only let up 14.4 points a game. 14.4 points a game, the Patriots. In 2013, the Seahawks, gave up 14.3 points a game. Still pretty damn good. Only 14 points a game. Mike, in 2001, those Philadelphia Eagles that were coached by Andy Reid, 13.9 points a game are what they gave up, which qualifies them for the number 8 spot on this list. The 2001 Bears, 13.9. The 2001 Pittsburgh Steelers, 13.7. That was a really good team. Remember, we lose 24 to 17 to the Patriots in that game, and that was a really good Steeler team, led by Cordell Stewart, actually. But 13.7, Mike, it puts them at the number 6 spot on this list. Another Bears defense in 05, they give up 13.6 points per game. In 2006, the Ravens give up 12.7 points a game. That puts them in number 4. Number 3 is the 2000 Titans. 12.6 a game is what they gave up. The super Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense that had Mike Tomlin on staff, coaching the DBs, if I'm not mistaken. That defense only gave up 12.3 points a game, which is number 2. And Mike, the best defense who gave up the fewest points per game since 2000 would be the 2000 Baltimore Ravens that gave up 9.4 points a game.
Damn.
9.4 points a game, Mike. So again, people are talking about this might be the greatest defense ever built. Of course, Thornhill and a few other people on the team are saying this. DK Metcalf made the comment about it being a possibility. But Mike, the Baltimore Ravens in 2000, just 9.4 points per game is what they gave up. So again, when you think best, you get an idea. But when you look at numbers, and you're right, Vegas has 4 shutouts for the Ravens that year too. And that was the year that they did win the Super Bowl with that defense mostly. Otherwise, it would have been Trent Dilfer taking on the Giants that year. But there was the defense, in my opinion, Mike, they win big over the Giants in the Super Bowl. Again, 9.4 points given up per game.
Yeah, that I don't think we're ever going to see a defense like that again, especially the way the league has gone now to everything's catered towards the offense and scoring points. So, yeah, I don't think anyone's coming close to that 9 points a game and giving up. That's just never going to happen again. That defense was damn good, too.
Also, Mike, we were talking about division winners. The last 10 division winners for the AFC North looks like this. 24 and 23 was the Ravens. 22 and 21 was the Bengals. In 2020, if you remember, the Steelers did win the division. In 19 and 18, it was the Ravens. 17 and in 16 it was the Steelers, and then 10 years ago in 2015 the Cincinnati Bengals did it, Mike. So the Steelers are about due, and again they're only giving us a 15.5% to win the AFC North compared to Baltimore with their heavy 73.5% chance.
These preseason odds are kind of like the preseason polls in college football, based on feels and vibes. So
Mike, do you suspect the Cleveland Browns are going to win the division? This is what you're saying. I think these are kind of accurate, don't you? I think the Ravens probably are well ahead, and I mean I don't know. Maybe the Bengals should be a little further up the list. Mike, they sit at a 10.8% chance. Again, that's a pretty damn good offense in Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's a damn good offense, but shitty defense. And it kind of like you can say the opposite for the Steelers: a damn good defense and an unproven offense.
Well, the Steelers' defense has kind of been proven at this point, too. If you think about it, a lot of these guys has not played a down for us, Mike, and the team that we did put out on the field last year kind of underachieved. So I'm not arguing. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. And then finally, Mike, also the highest, of course, we know that the Steelers have the highest paid defense in the league, paying out $170.7 million. Okay. Mike, you want to know who has the lowest paid defense in the league? You want to take a stab at it? It might surprise you. The Philadelphia Eagles has the lowest paid defense in the league, $66.1 million. So whatever it is the Eagles are doing, you might want to pay attention, guys.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys still on rookie contracts too.
You know what? And we
that's the way to do it.
Here we are overpaying a bunch of old guys when they have a bunch of rookies and young players on rookie contracts.
Well, they were doing the smart thing too, letting the old guys go and bringing the new guys and then shifting all that money to the offensive side. And I guarantee you're going to see their money shift to the defense and money shift away from the offense, but get that good young talent to replace the way we were able to do for a long time here.
So what they're doing, they put the lowest paid defense out on the football field and they go to a few Super Bowls. They win a Super Bowl. We have astronomically $20 million more dollars than the next team, which will be the Giants. And this team can't keep teams from putting points on the board in the playoffs. So as I'm saying, Mike, the pendulum in the state of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania certainly swung to the eastern side of the state. It will come back. But again, if you're trying to see what to do right in the league, pay attention to what Philadelphia has been doing over the past 5 years, because Mike, this team, they put together a nice team in Philadelphia.
Yeah, they did. Damn good team.
What else we got here? What else we got, Mike? Let's grab a couple of these messages. Why don't you start right around?
I know where we're at.
Start on P. I know, but sometimes I move around and I don't go.
Oh, you get lost. Okay.
Well, no. Listen. Just start with P, would you?
P. Like P said, if I have 3 to 5 year window to make enough money to survive after my body is jacked up and the concussions no longer allow me to do math in my head, yeah, I'm going to get paid. I am too. My thing is like with Cam, like he just got paid and then wants another raise. That's my only issue with Cam right there. He's like, you got your money last year. You don't need another raise. Like Vegas, you have the 4 shutouts. And the rules have changed big time to favor the offense. John, I'm living mentally in Missouri with the Steelers. Show me and stop talking shit. Hell yeah, brother. They better ball out this year. Vegas, the Eagles have a lot of contracts with void years. Corey, we could agree that everyone's sitting at 0-0. We're all improving. Given how vastly teams change year over year, it doesn't make sense how it happens, but it does. Yeah, like you see teams go from worst to first just about every year. It feels like. Hopefully, we can go from middle of the pack to first. Okay, can we be that this year? What up, Kenny D? See, John, the Eagles owner and GM get it. They tell their head coach to stay out of the AC's business and hire studs. Tell Nick to focus on his emotional intelligence to influence the team, not X's and O's. It doesn't Sirianni have that big bodyguard too that almost got suspended? I think they do. And like John said, the Steelers need to tell Tomlin the same thing, but won't.
I do want to say welcome to Kenny D. What's
What
up,
up,
brother?
Kenny D?
Always great seeing Kenny on the board. Welcome. It is it's Steeler Game Eve, everybody. Welcome aboard. This is the big Friday show, Mike, the first Steeler Eve show. We're going to do a couple of light predictions and a couple over under, Mike, just to get us a little acclimated and ready for the season. We're not going to get full into it because, again, making predictions at this point of the season is ridiculous and doesn't really even make any sense to do. We'll get into that in just a second, Mike. I do want to throw this out here real quick. There's construction outside of Acrisure Stadium. If you are coming to Pittsburgh, I know a lot of people that watch the show, they're out from out of town. Maybe you're coming down to Pittsburgh for the draft next year in April, Mike. There's construction outside of Acrisure Stadium. They're installing an AstroTurf field that is going to be ready by Labor Day this year. And what it's going to be is for, kids and things and activities outside of the Acrisure Stadium before games on game day. And come April, when the draft is here, they're going to have all kind of things going on around the city, Mike. So the stadium, it's intended to be for young athletes to participate in activities during Steeler games and other stadium events such as 2026 NFL Draft. So that's going to be a neat addition downtown, Mike, to see on the North Shore, to see a nice AstroTurf football field when you come to town, right outside the stadium.
That'd be kind of cool. I'd go check that out.
Absolutely, man. Again, it's probably more like, because you watch the draft every year and there's so many things going on. You know what I mean? There's kids throwing footballs and playing flag football. And so I imagine it's going to go, it's going to be something similar to that, especially with the draft coming, Mike. But that is happening right now, and it is expected to be done by Labor Day. So not too long. This will be all prepared, guys. So again, Steelers tomorrow. Let me give you a list, guys. Do you want, Mike, when I should do the list one more time? I know that most people know, but I do know that there are some people coming in a little bit later here. Let's go down the list one more time of the players that we will not see tomorrow. I know everybody is just ready for Steeler football, but this is the list of the inactives, people that will just not be participating tomorrow. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who of course said he will play if needed. DK Metcalf, Jalen Warren will not be playing tomorrow. Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, Isaac Seumalo, Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr., Darius Slay, Deshaun Elliott, Patrick Queen, TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Nick Herbig, and Chris Boswell, as well as the list of guys that will not be playing. And we do know that Jacksonville will be playing starters. Most notably, guys, one that I'll be paying attention to, not a Jaguar fan, but to see what it is that Travis Hunter will look like, Mike, playing in his two-way debut.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see how well he adapts to the NFL speed. Of course, he will be going up against backup, so it'll be interesting to. I just want to see him play because he was a novelty in college.
And it's what our backups look like against him. I think that's what's more important, because he, is supposedly going to be a star in this league, and he's going to be
number two overall pick. I want to see how our backups do against the number 2 guy.
Absolutely. Let's see on the board. P says Hurts is coaching his head coach. John says Nick Sirianni isn't controlling anything. Tomlin is controlling everything. Cody says, are they rebuilding Acrisure? I've seen somewhere that they're going to build a new stadium. Is going to be in the same spot. I don't know. Somebody was saying yesterday that by 2035 they want domes in every city. But I don't know what pace that is going to move. And I don't know. I'm not even sure the validity on that. But I do know that a lot of teams are updating again, Cleveland, Mike, putting a dome in that dump of a city. So who knows? Who knows what 10 years is going to bring? But as we know right now, Cody, that is not the case. RB says, just tell us the list of who's playing, and it will make the 53. It's a shorter list. And then Cody says, we need volunteers, not hostages. Mike, one thing I do want to give you another list is this is according to DraftKings. DraftKings did give us a list of the top 30 stadiums ranked. Mike, Green Bay, they say Lambeau Field is the best stadium in the league.
No.
Number 2, the place where LA plays, Mike. They say number 2, Atlanta, the Raiders, and the Colts, all with their domes, come in at 3, 4, and 5. In the second tier, Mike, they say Minnesota, Dallas, Seattle, and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh coming in at number 9 in stadiums overall. This is according to DraftKings. Detroit, number 10. The third tier has Miami, Kansas City, Arizona, Houston, and San Francisco. That is the third tier. That's 11 through 15. In the fourth tier, Mike, all 3 AFC North teams that are not the Steelers, the Ravens, the Browns, the Bengals, the Eagles, and the Patriots stadiums fall from 16 to 20. Teams with their stadiums falling from 21 to 25 are the Broncos, the Giants, the Buccaneers, the Panthers, the Bills, and finally the teams with the worst stadiums in the league, according to this list, Mike, 26 through 30 are the Titans, the Saints, the Jacksonville Jaguars, where we're going tomorrow, Chicago, and Washington. So just interesting odds and ends, Mike, as we do get ready to head in to the opening full preseason weekend of football. Steelers tomorrow, 7 o'clock at Jacksonville. Mike, and you know that, again, this is our preseason, so let's get into some overs and unders.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go, guys. Overs and unders for tomorrow. Participate on the board as well if you'd like. It's short, it's sweet, but again, we got to get back into practice as well. This is our preseason. Over or under, Mike? The Steelers offense tomorrow, they score 1.5 rushing touchdowns. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense, 1.5 rushing touchdowns in this game tomorrow at Jacksonville. Over or under? 1.5 rushing touchdowns.
I'm going to take the under.
Going under on that. Under on rushing touchdowns, under 1.5. Mike, a half of passing touchdown. The Steelers offense, over or under? A half of passing touchdown.
I'm taking over. Woodside's going to have 2 touchdowns passing. Interesting.
On the Jacksonville starters. Let's see how this looks. Mike, also, let's see. A half of a special teams touchdown. A punt return, a kick return, maybe a pick up a fumble and scoop and score. Mike, a half
under.
Special teams touchdown. You're going to go under on that.
Yeah, I'm going under.
Let's see. 1.5 turnovers caused by our defense. 1.5 turnovers caused by our defense, Mike, over or under?
Yeah, preseason games tend to be sloppy, especially later in the game. So I'm gonna go over.
Over on that one. Yep. And again, Mike, this is again preseason, short and sweet. We're getting in our practicing, but this one, Mike, is controversial on our show. Not many people do this.
You motherfucker.
And I'm a motherfucker for doing this, but guys, here we go. Last one, over or under, guys. 1.5 of a player lost for the season. Over or under, Mike? A half. A Pittsburgh Steeler injured tomorrow and is lost for the season. Over or under on that, Mike?
Under.
And I hope you're right.
Under.
Again, just because we do this doesn't make it right. But you're going to go under.
Oh.
There's not going to be any Pittsburgh Steelers that are injured tomorrow and that are out for the duration of the season is what you're saying.
I'm going with it. I'm going from the top of the roster to the bottom roster. We're getting out of this one relatively healthy.
All right, and Cody got one for you on the board as well. He says over under. Danny Smith sticks 25 pieces of bubble gum in his mouth
I'm taking the over all day, every day.
I think that's an easy one, right?
You can put that at 100, and I'm taking the over.
Look at John says the announcers say Tomlin never had a losing season. 12 times, over or under. I like that. Let's get into some of the scores again. Mike, preseason doesn't mean anything, but we're going to do it anyway. Mike, Browns and Panthers play tonight. Who wins this football game? Come on, it should be easier than that. It's not really anything. Panthers, I'm going to take, you know what, I'm going Panthers as well. Screw the Browns. Mike, the Lions at Falcons also tonight. Lions and Falcons, who wins this football game?
Falcons.
All right, I'm going to go Lions in this one. Lions looked like crap last week. I think they're going to do something this week. Commanders Patriots, the last game tonight, the 7:30 start. Commanders Patriots. Mike, again, these games mean nothing, but we got to get in shape as well. Commanders Patriots. Who do you like in this one?
Give me the Patriots.
All right. Tomorrow games at 1 o'clock. They start at 1 o'clock tomorrow. The Giants Bills.
Giants.
All right. I'll take. I'll take the. You know what? I'm going to take everyone opposite you say. So whoever you take, the opposite will be my pick, just so we can move. So we can move it along. Mike. Also tomorrow, the Texans and Vikings.
Vikings.
All right. Steelers at Steelers and Jaguars last. How about Cowboys at Rams?
Rams.
All right. Titans at Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
Jets at Packers.
Jets.
Chiefs at Cardinals.
Chiefs.
And then the last game of the day tomorrow, Mike, the Broncos at the 49ers.
Broncos.
And then 2 games on Sunday, Dolphins at Bears.
The Bears.
And finally, the last game of the weekend is the Saints at the Chargers. Who do you like in this game, Mike, in Los Angeles on Sunday?
Saints.
Okay, we're going to come back to Steelers. Again, this means absolutely nothing. This is all for shits and giggles, Mike. But I need to know your prediction for a score for the Steelers, Jacksonville Jaguars, preseason game 1. The score could literally be anything because there's no rhyme or reason to this particular kind of game. But, Mike, this is it's just we have to go through these. We have to go through these steps to get to where we go. Mike, final score on the Steelers and Jacksonville game from you.
34-27. Your Pittsburgh Steelers. The backups overtake the game after Jacksonville pulls their starters. We'll be down big, and our backups beat their backups.
All right, I'm going to go Steelers 27, Jacksonville 10 is my prediction for the game tomorrow. Again, no reason, rhyme, or relevance that we do it. We just do it because this is preseason at this point. And I got to be honest with you, I was excited to get back and start doing our over and unders, Mike, because that is a big part of our season, preparing for the games every week. And again, guys, next time we see everybody, this could very well be Victory Monday. Any way you slice it. What a good way to start this preseason and regular season off, Mike, would be to start off with a nice win here in Jacksonville tomorrow. Yeah. Just getting a win, getting out there and getting it, putting it on the field and seeing what we could do.
I just want to see the guys get knock the rust off of them, get back into like actual game shape, game conditioning, get the mind for the game, get in, get out healthy. I just want to see what some of our higher end draft picks are going to do. Lower end guys on the roster, I probably won't even be watching at that point. But,
All right, Mike, you were on the messages. Why don't you find where we were so we could jump back on them? And we are going to be getting ready to wrap the show up pretty soon, Mike. So if you could just find me the spot where you left off in messages, and we'll jump on that.
We are at Corey Beavers.
All right, what time? 13:25?
Yeah, 13:27.
20 what?
27.
I go 13:25. You go, yeah, 13:27. All right, let me move up. All right, Corey says over. We lose one of our 30 tight ends, not our top 3, but one of the practice squad guys. So he is saying that we lose somebody for the season tomorrow, Mike. RB says, wait, the season injured thing is irrelevant. Is it a relevant injury or anyone? Yeah, I mean, anybody that we lose for the season on that one, I think we could go with. Yeah, just to be safe. Vegas says bubblegum pieces are high in Pittsburgh prices are high because of Danny. That's right. The inflation is crazy. Let's see. RB says Milroe looked like dog shit last night. That could have been our quarterback, guys. A lot of people wanted us to go that direction. RB says still taking under across the board. Okay, fair enough. He follows it up by saying this is the new Jag staff, and they want to see it set a new tone. Tomlin is here to be done with it. They want to set a new culture. It's going to be a bloodbath. He's saying 32-9. Then he revised it to 34-9 by way of Jacksonville. John says it's just another day of practice. Absolutely. They get to dress up and pretend, though, and that's what gets us happy, I guess. Seeing our colors on the field. Mike, a couple things before we do start getting ready to wrap things up for the day as we get ready to head into Steeler weekend, the first for the season. Mike, the other football team here in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they're back at it tomorrow as they host the Orange County SC. That game is at Highmark Stadium tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. And the Pittsburgh Pirates, they win by a touchdown. It was Pittsburgh over Cincinnati, 7-0 yesterday, as Brian Hayes comes back for his first game against his former team since he's been traded to the Reds earlier in the week. Mike, he goes 1 for 3. Paul Skeens goes 6 innings, gives up 7 hits, and still gives up 0 runs, no walks, has 8 strikeouts. He goes underneath 2 again for the season on his ERA.
Yep.
Today is game 2 of 4. It's at 6:40 against the Reds. It's going to be Mitch Keller against Chase Burns. The Pirates will also play tomorrow at 6:40, and they'll wrap up the series against the Reds on Sunday at 1:35 before heading on the road to play Milwaukee next, Mike. But one baseball note that I do want to make outside of the Pirates organization is David Bednar did get his first save with the New York Yankees, so good on him. He's a hometown guy. I can't help that the Pirates do terrible at managing people and players, but good for him. Hopefully he has a lot of success, Mike, as he gets his first save in the New York Yankees uniform.
Yeah, a better performance than his first outing when he gave up a go-ahead home run.
Yeah, well, I mean, we expect that from him.
Expect that from him. It's never easy with him.
No, it's not. You would love just to have a 1-2-3 inning. And again, what Aroldis Chapman did last year, I thought was just so much more impressive than what Bednar did. Yet they just let Chapman go, and what they're doing with this team, I'll never know, Mike. But again, Steelers start tomorrow, so it doesn't matter. We don't have to care what this team is doing till April. So we're going to put that behind us, Mike. And why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
The twodumbyinches.com. Check it out, everyone. We've got all of our merch over there. We've got all of our social medias over there. We got the dumb thoughts, which I can't wait for the actual season to start so we can have some real dumb thoughts over there. Just check it out at the twodumbyinches.com.
All right, guys. So put on your thinking caps, Mike. Put on your thinking cap and everybody on the board and everybody at home. Here is the question of the day. Heading into our game against Jacksonville tomorrow, this is the question of the day. Here we go. Between 1995 and 2001, the Steelers were division foes with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They played 14 games in that period of time, Mike. How many of the 14 games did the Steelers win? Again, between 1995 and 2001, the Steelers and Jacksonville were division foes. They played 14 games in that period of time. How many of those games did the Steelers win? Take a moment to think that through. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day right here on YouTube. RB is going to say 8 on the board. Mike, he says that we won 8 out of the 14. Anybody else? If you have any thoughts, ideas, guesses as well, Coasterholic says 9. The Steelers won 9 of those games. Mike, again, the question of the day is this. Between 1995 and 2001, the Steelers and the Jaguars were division foes. They played 14 times in that time. How many of those 14 games did the Steelers win? RB is saying 8. Coasterholics is saying 9. P, my man, is saying 6, all the way from the other side of the planet in Japan. P is saying 6. Mike, what do you think this number is? How many times did the Steelers beat the Jaguars while they shared the same division?
Let's go with 9.
9, is this your final answer?
Final answer.
All right, so you're going with 9 like Coaster did. John is saying 10. All right, I'm locking Mike in for 9. Again, question of the day. Get your answer up if you have one or your guess. John says his is a guess. Again, between 1995 and 2001, the Steelers were division foes and played 14 games against the Jacksonville Jaguars in that period of time. How many of the 14 games did the Steelers win? 8, 9, 6, 10. All kind of different answers, guys. We'll give it another minute on the board. Cody said, "Who's Cordell Stewart was in the tail end of that. I think Mike Tomczak. There was some Neil O'Donnell there at the beginning. Cordell. There was even a Jim Miller briefly.
Half a game.
In that time period. Tommy Maddox. All right, guys, here we go. Time for the answer. Between 95 and 2001, the Steelers and the Jaguars were division foes and played 14 games against one another. I want to know how many of the 14 did the Steelers win? All different kind of answers on the board. Guys, the correct answer, of course, is 6. The Steelers went
Ooh.
6-8 in the 14 games against the Jaguars while playing in the same division. And if you can remember, if you're older and you remember, Mike, that these every game was a good game when it came down to Jacksonville and Pittsburgh. If it was in their field, it seemed like they won. If it was in our field, it seemed like we won. Then it switched up. We were winning all the games there. They were winning all the games here. It was basically like the original Baltimore Ravens rivalry is how it played out, the way that we beat each other, and it was competitive. But yes, guys, 6-8. 6-8 was the Steelers' record against Jacksonville while in the same division. P says Jax was kind of a ringer expansion back then. RB says we lost to Jacksonville in their first ever game. Yes, we did. And then RB says that was the Miller Tomczak. How long was Miller in, Mike?
A half, I think. That was it.
And there was the big controversy before the season. It was the QB controversy. Is it going to be Miller? Is it going to be Tomczak? Is it going to be Cordell? And and Jim Miller was somehow the one that won, and he made it a whole half. So tells you how that went. Cody said, I bet Coward got pissed. That coach can murder you with his eyes. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Again, tomorrow we're just a little over 24 hours away. This time, P for the dub. What is it? I'm not sure. He said, Ryan, no. I'm getting from RB. I'm not sure on that. But I am just getting ready to tell everybody that we are just a little over 24 hours away. We're going to be getting ready for the Pittsburgh Steelers' first preseason game of the year at Jacksonville. Again, guys, there's games tonight. The Browns, Panthers, 7 o'clock. Lions at Falcons, 7 o'clock. Commanders and Patriots is a 7:30 start tonight. And that's all the football. It was Tomczak or Stuart Miller was from out. No, because remember it was a 3-way. It was after the Super Bowl. Neil O'Donnell left town. He jumped ship. He went to New York like the day after he threw those 2 interceptions, and then it was a 3-way quarterback controversy. It was young Jim Miller. It was Cordell who was Slash, and he wanted to play quarterback, but Cowher was being he wasn't letting him. And then Mike Tomczak coming in as the backup was the other guy. And I can specifically remember the picture in the Post Gazette. It was the 3 guys. And Jim Miller ended up getting the call. If I think I'm remembering right, I'm about 98% sure, but it was very unpredictable, or it was very unpredicted, Mike, to say, and an unpopular pick. But Jim Miller was in fact named the starter, and he lasted not too long.
No, I like when he was named starter. I was like, oh my, are you fucking kidding me?
And they had his picture on I remember the next year calendar, like his picture was on, his face was on, or his football pitcher was on the calendar for that season for the Steelers, and he didn't even make it more than a half a game. So that was kind of how that went. RB says, I don't remember hearing about Jim Miller, and they was announced, and I was flubber. Yeah, no two ways about that. But guys, tomorrow, here it is. We are here at Mike. It's our first Friday, our first Steeler Friday. We see everybody. Hopefully, it's going to be Steeler Victory Monday. I'm sorry. And we'll be getting ready for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next week. But guys, tomorrow, Pittsburgh at Jacksonville, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I hope everybody stays safe out there. I hope everybody has a good time. Everybody enjoys themselves. Everybody digs out them terrible towels and get them waving early, Mike, because, again, you got to get in shape for regular season just as much as the team does. I believe this. Mike, anything before we do start getting ready to wrap it up for the week, heading into the Steeler game? It's here, brother. It's here.
It is here. No, I got nothing. I've been scrolling through Twitter, see if there's any late breaking news. Nothing, but no, man, this has been a fun week. It is now Steelers season officially. I can't fucking wait. And fuck Cam Hayward.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel, Mike? Also, I do want to say a couple things I do have before we go. Mike, they are changing the name from the Carnegie Science Center. So if you were coming to Pittsburgh and you haven't been here for a while, you're coming back to town. When you come back and when you see, Mike, the Cayman Science Center, it's not a whole different place. You're not in the wrong city. Wow. After all these years, the Carnegie Science Center will temporarily close from September 2nd to September 12th. And when they open up, they are going to be renamed the Cayman Science Center, Kamin, Mike. So you're not in the wrong town. If you're coming down the highway and you see this place and you think that you're lost, the Carnegie Science Center will now be the Cayman.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Because, it will always be the Carnegie Science Center to me.
Damn right.
I can say Acrisure Stadium, no problem. but the Carnegie Science Center will always be that's a hill I'm willing to die on.
Also, I do want to say the Three Gooners are coming back strong tonight, Mike. I catch the Three Gooners tonight at 9:30 right here on the Two Dumb Yinzer channel. Check out Finch, check out Tim and Ryan right here tonight, 9:30. They're coming back. Also, I do want to say if you got social media, go check out any of the Two Dumb Yinzer social media sites. Check us out on Facebook, on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even on TikTok. Stop by, hit the follow button. Could be a lot of fun, and you can keep up with what we're doing on an everyday basis. Also, and if you haven't had a chance today, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and the share below. That'll help us out greatly. We appreciate it as well. I do want to say to everybody, thank you so much. It was a great offseason. It really was. So many people stuck with the show. It's hard to stay all football, all your team, all year long. But I got to be honest with you, our board and everyone that follows the show and participates on an everyday, even not every day, just stuck it out with us all off season. We appreciate you. We fought through. It was a great off season, but now it's time for football, guys. We have about 6 months of Steelers. Mike, hopefully this goes on longer than we've been seeing the past couple of years with our Pittsburgh Steelers team. Maybe a little further into January, maybe even a February game this year. But anyway, anyway you slice it, thank you so much to everybody who stuck with us. Let's go. It is on like Donkey Kong tomorrow. Game 1 of the preseason. Steelers at Jacksonville. I want to say thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out with us today. We appreciate each and every one of you. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting on the show. And everybody at home, whether you're listening on your earbuds, maybe you're taking a walk, maybe you're at the gym, maybe you're just in the car listening. Thank you to everybody. Off season is over, Mike. Football season is here. It's official. Tomorrow, Steeler game. We'll be back tomorrow at Monday at our regular time to go over everything that happens tomorrow in the Steeler game and much, much more. We hope to see everybody then. Everybody have a safe weekend. We hope to see everybody back. Don't do nothing crazy. Just enjoy your football team and get back at it. Mike, anything before we decide to before we wrap it up for the day?
No, John, I will be slathering on the Bengay. I cannot afford any terrible tackle injuries. I need to be ready to go for all 18 games. 17 games.
He's fragile. He did get hurt going reverse in his car, so I have to make sure he doesn't get hurt twirling
I got
his
hurt
towel.
Getting out of the car.
This time
getting out of the car.
This time, yeah. What was the first injury? Going backwards. Cody says, see you fellas, shotgun some beers. Practice makes perfect. That's right, P. Thank you so much. John, Vegas, have a great weekend yourself, my friend. Everybody, thank you so much for being here, doing our thing. We'll do it again Monday. First thing, we'll see you back here. Enjoy the Steeler game. Here we go, Steelers. Mike, from Mike in the Steelers Central Mobile Studio, for myself, the Two Dumb Yinzers. We'll see you on Monday. Here we go. Steelers. Come on, baby.